So Glastonbury is one of my absolute favourite places to visit in the UK. You're going to love it, especially if you're into spirituality, paganism, veganism, or any of these alternative lifestyles, because there's going to be lots of things for you to do. That fairy display was definitely one of my favourites, but they have incredible window displays here. Every few months and seasonally they change them, and they're always stunning. So in the courtyard they have these very cheap books that you can buy, and they have the pleasure shop, and then up here the goddess temple is a beautiful community building where you can go and meditate for free. So it wasn't open when I went because this was so close to Christmas and it was quite late in the day, but often you can go up there and they have angel cards out and lots of spaces to sit and bean bags, and you can just find a little moment for yourself and meditate. This is one of the things I love the most about Glastonbury. There's just a lot of community things to do here, and I just think it's so beautiful to have a space that is free of charge and you can just come and find a moment and find some peace and relaxation away from the daily hustle and grind. I absolutely love this crystal walkway. Now it's quite late, so my camera hasn't picked it up that well, but in the daylight it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's full of crystals and little statues that have been inserted into the stone. There's another little area back there as well with a crystal shop and a dragon statue and the main library for Glastonbury, but that was closed off at the time that I got there. Now this I've been wanting to try for a while. I've seen it on the high street, and a friend that I met here was really obsessed with doing this, and he actually did about 2 hours in here and absolutely loved it. He really sold it to me, so I decided to give it a try because you can actually do a taster session for £10, so I thought it was worth giving it a try. So I'm probably going to get the pronunciation wrong here, but it's the meditation pyramids of Buddha, Maitreya, the Christ. So it's essentially a guy in California who believes that he's the reincarnation of Christ, and he set up these soul therapy meditation rooms. So although there's obviously elements of the pyramid, sacred geometry, and there's also magnets and crystals, the belief is that he charges all these things in his monastery in California, and it's going to lead to personal enlightenment. To be honest, I didn't feel that much from it. I did feel like I'd had a really nice meditation, but I feel like I would feel pretty much the same after any nice meditation. But it was still something nice to do, and I can say I've tried it. So here is the very famous Glastonbury Spring. You can't really come to Glastonbury without visiting the spring and sampling some of the spring water. I actually bring big bottles with me, and it's not in this video, but I tend to fill up quite a few big bottles to take back with me. So the one you just saw me fill up from is the white spring, and that supposedly has calcium. And then this one you can see here is the red spring, and that has iron-rich water. So you're supposed to drink a bit less of the iron one, and you can have more of the white spring, which apparently is also UV filtered, I've heard. So something else I really love about Glastonbury is how many quirky individuals there are here and interesting people to talk to. Now, I will say if you come completely on your own, it can be quite difficult to get chatting. But if you have one friend who knows the locals to bounce off, then you're going to start meeting people very quickly. I met these amazing two women. One of them makes these puppets. A lot of them are actually made with very regular household items that you can just find around the home, and she's currently trying to publish a book for children to make these at home with their parents. This is the White Hart Gallery in Glastonbury, which has some really incredible spiritual pieces of art. And what trip to Glastonbury would be complete without a visit up the Tor? So every time I come, I have to climb the Tor at least once. The tour was given to the National Trust, but with the caveat that it would remain free for anybody to visit at any time. So I couldn't get video up here because it was just simply too dark, but I did manage to get some photos, and I just love going up. It has links to King Arthur, and it's a real spiritual pilgrimage for people in the area, and you can just sit up there and take it in, and you get incredible 360-degree views of Glastonbury. So I'm just going to leave you with a little bit of a tour of some of the best window displays. This is the shop where I love to get my resins from. I do want one of these lights one day. I really think they're beautiful and I really want one in my house. But I think their resins are very high quality and very good value. So here we have St John's Church, which is on the High Street in Glastonbury and a beautiful central focal point. This is another one of my favourites. I think it's very creative. It's definitely the same that it was last year, but still a beautiful display and really stands out. So this is the George and Pilgrim Hotel and Inn, and it was built in the late 15th century, and it's actually claimed that it's the oldest purpose-built public house in the southwest of England. So very ancient building, and you can come here for a meal, but you can also just get a drink, or you can even come and get a coffee late at night, which is really useful to know, because if you come down from the tour and you just want a warm drink, then here's the place to go, because everywhere else closes super early. So I actually met a friend here and had a glass of mead, which I really don't normally drink. I don't drink a lot of alcohol, but I just really fancied it. And I didn't know how amazing mead was. I absolutely loved it. And I will probably have that again when I come here. So the last time I had mead, and it was probably the first time too, was when I went to a pagan meetup on the tour, and we were all offered mead out of a horn. And I think that's probably the only other time I've had it. But yeah, I like it. So the hotel is obviously claimed to be haunted. One of the reported ghosts is said to be that of a monk. A lot of monks actually visited from the abbey, and it's said to have sat on the bed of a guest and talked about Queen Elizabeth. Another reported ghost is a hanging judge called George Jeffreys. This is a super unusual shop. So it's a touch emotion soap shop. So there's all these bars of soap. They also sell crystals as well, but the bars of soap have crystals inside of them. And once you've had several showers, you will reach the downloadable music. So you will get a code by email, and you'll receive the music, and you'll be able to play dub, chill out, drum and bass, trip hop, bass line and breakbeat music at the core of your soap. So it's a multi-dimensional shower soap experience with crystals, music and amazing scents. There's also some pretty cute displays in people's houses if you have a walk around the back streets. A lot of people here make an effort to put something positive out on display in their windows.